One. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Afrotaku live stream. I know y'all missed us last Thursday, but we're
Facts.
here back again for another live stream. I am MGG, and I'm joined here by my co-host.
What's going on? It's Jugga.
And as usual, we're kicking off the live stream with some chapter reviews, starting it up with the usual My Hero Academia chapter 302. As usual, spoiler alert. There will probably be some sort of well, for sure there'll be spoilers in this one because I got some shit to flame. Spoilers from the My Hero chapter. If you don't like spoilers, just keep it pushing. And come back in 10 minutes or mute us, give us the views, and then just unmute us in 10 minutes. But anyways, on My Hero Academia 302. So basically, overview of this chapter is I think it's like a two-parter because I think we got a little bit of it in the chapter before this too. But it's basically the backstory of how Dabi became Dabi, right?
Pretty much.
I get it in the first chapter. The second chapter, I also get it, but I also am like, once again, Endeavor kind of just got. He was a dick, but definitely not the way it was set up. That he was a dick in terms of Shoto's backstory. Like Shoto set it up like he was just a straight abusive asshole, didn't give a fuck about anything. But I mean, from what I saw in these past two chapters, he actually did give a fuck. He was like disappointed that his son like obviously wasn't going to be the guy to be All Might, but at the same time he was still like, hey, don't be a hero because your power will fucking kill you. Like, stop.
And that was, I consider that kind of like a 50-50. Like, I hear you, but that was more.
I definitely agree with that. It's 50-50.
Because, like, homie didn't really start to say that until Shoto was born, right? So he was like, oh, okay, the bread and butter already got made. I literally don't have to worry about you no more. So I won't.
But I guess I feel like it was in a like he was a dick to all the kids, right? Like in terms of like, he wasn't spending enough time as he probably should have with the children.
100%.
But what I didn't get from Endeavor was that he hated them, which is what they kept trying to make it seem like. It was like he didn't care about them, but he definitely didn't like just was like, oh, you're a total failure. Like Toya basically was just like, I just wanted to be Todoroki, and that's why I went crazy. But it's like his path to craziness, while like Endeavor was that spark, I still feel like there was pivots and changes that could have been made to where it didn't get that bad. But like Toya just didn't want to let it go. And that was my thing. It was like, y'all could have maybe like, the parents definitely had shit to do there. Like, I'm not going to put it all on him. He was a little kid.
I mean, that's 100%. I mean, homie, he's like 13.
Like, take the time and identify, like, all right, this nigga doesn't want to be a hero. Or maybe he still wants to be a hero. Let's find a way to, like, make this work. Like, still have him train, but, like, try to get control of his powers. Or find this nigga a new hobby. Like, I felt
no, like for real, though. I mean, like, that's exactly it. I mean, to me, I took this origin story as simply Endeavor is still 100% a bad dad, but just for slightly different reasons than what we thought before. That's how I took it. Because like to me, like he still did a bad job. I mean, like as you said, the attention still should have been made to all his kids. Like in all reality, he still could have got the exact same result that he got from Shoto and still have been a better dad. He just didn't handle Toya properly.
Right.
Which, I mean, obviously, you could tell that just by, how psycho Toya actually got, which is, 100% on Endeavor. I personally still think that's like maybe slight biology, but that's still more nurture than nature, in my opinion. So, I mean, like, I don't know. I was still just disappointed in everything that was kind of still presented here because of the whole, I think Player 5 touched on it before in the episode, but they kind of they tried to express the whole family as being slightly responsible to Toya's result instead of it just being Endeavor's fault, which is like, bro, what? It's like that. I felt like that actually took away from like the lessons that they really could have ended up teaching the readers here.
That's true. I think that's true. My thing is, well, first of all, Silent Blade, shout out to you. Thanks for coming on the live stream. You always on live streams.
What's going on?
But yeah, I agree with you. Endeavor is still trash. I'm not sitting here defending Endeavor, so I won't put that out there. And then Dobby / Toya is still a psycho, though. Yes. That I 100% agree with. The other part of this to me was that Toya just wasn't a normal kid. Like, I think
that's true.
He was taking that shit like a little bit too far. And I think that's where my issue was. And it could have been, and it was partially because Endeavor kind of like set him up like, oh my God, you have the best hero. You like have the best power, like strongest fire, whatever. And then just basically took that shit away from him. So I get how Endeavor played a role in it, but like I said, compared to like how dark, the guy, like the author went with like the villain stories, for example, like motherfucking Tomura actually getting abused by a hero's kid, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And actually killing that entire family. I'm just disappointed at how light, I guess, that this, like the true story of this all ended up being. I felt like it was like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up what Endeavor did, but I also go like, if you check any immigrant parents' family, like, this happens. Like, and niggas come out just fine after. Like, it's not as bad sometimes as this. It's not as severe, but it's basically like, yes, I want you to be the successful child, and if you're not, maybe I won't pay as much attention to you as I will, like, the more successful child. So I'm like, people have gone through this story, so to speak, before. My thing is like, from what I saw, watching what I saw happen, Todoroki's like involvement in the situation, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even that scene where like Todoroki was like, I want to go play with my siblings, and he was like, nah, you gotta grind out because you're gonna be a hero. I'm like, this is shit that happens in immigrant families on the regular. Like, they like, no, don't go hang out with your friends. Get in the books. Like, you need to be the best student. Or like kids that like compete, for example, like in spelling bees and shit. The parents might do that too. They might be like, hey, no, focus on what I think is important for your future. So like, to me, it just made me feel a way. While I thought that Endeavor was still wrong, I still think that he didn't handle that the best way he could have. I still think that the kids' reaction to it was still like not really there. It was like very like selfish. I think maybe that's the word I'm looking for. It was like not like, oh, maybe I understand now that like my dad had a serious problem and obsession with this hero. It was like, nah, fuck him, and he was still a dick, but like we'll fix it. You know what I'm saying? And then like you said, with the whole trying to pass off blame on like the little members of the family, like I get that they're all taking accountability, but my thing was like, all of you guys could have took that accountability a long ass fucking time ago. Like, if Natsuo was never alive, would never. That was crazy that we all just chose to forget.
That's true.
Like, we forgot.
No, that's a good point. That's definitely a good point.
Like, I'm just like, all right, bro, take accountability, but take it for real. Like, because even in Endeavor and the ladies' relationship, it was like, okay, cool. They were like, oh, you got sold off, blah, blah, blah. That sucks for you. I get that part. But at the same time, like, Endeavor wasn't abusing her. He was just, like, a dick. So I'm just like, you could have just done whatever the fuck you wanted to do. And then same thing with the kids. It didn't seem like their life was suffering. It just seemed like their dad was absent, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like they were going around getting beat or starving. It was like, dad is doing his own thing. and we're doing our own thing, like, and we're still fucking rich. Like, I was really confused at what they were trying.
That's that could be a little tough. Like, I mean, I just personally don't know from personal experience that kind of like family dynamic. I've been lucky enough to actually not go through that, but in that sense, I believe that at least the interpretation or the kind of feelings and thoughts that do go with that family dynamic can be taken a multitude of ways, for the simple fact to how, I mean, I guess this might be biased too, but to me, how extreme of this kind of dynamic can be to like the children's psyches, as well as the marriage of Todoroki and Rei. So I mean, like, how do I phrase this? It's like, I still would place like 100, if not 110% blame on Endeavor, because he's still the one that created such a difficult and stressful family dynamic in the first place.
I don't think
it's almost like he was like the spark that led to all of it. Now, I will say that, just to touch on it, because you made a really good point, is that Dabi, again, is effing psycho. Like, the simple fact that, like, after the big, like, blaze, they thought he, suicide, death, whatever. The fact of the matter is, he still could have came to the family, but he said, F that noise, I'm going to start putting people in the dirt and start doing, villain-ish, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he made that decision pretty much all on his own.
Kids with trauma. So my thing is, like, their problem was easily fixable by a therapist. Like, that was the issue for me.
That's also true.
That every single person in that situation needed their own form of therapy, and instead of doing that, they were just like, fuck it. And now they're in this mess because of that. But I don't think I was arguing. First of all, great pun there. I don't know if you did that on purpose with the Endeavor sparking.
Lol. I didn't even see that.
But
damn, I should be
like, I totally agree with you that it's 110% Endeavor's problem. He was a problematic dude who basically got together with another problematic person and then had children. Like this, we see this story all the fucking time. My thing is that it usually ends worse, one, in situations outside of this, and two, I think that there's a little bit of like misremembering when it comes to like the part of the children as far as how the experience went. Like Todoroki, I mean, like I just keep going back to how Todoroki came into the story, which was just like, I hate my dad, I'm extremely depressed, my dad ruined my mom's life, but the story showed me that your mom's life was already ruined. So this was just a part of her journey of ruinedness. Like, Endeavor was just the icing on the cake of her shitty life.
In a way, I see that.
So, so I'm like, you can't put all that on Endeavor. Your mom had problems. And then it's like, your siblings, they just went on to live normal life. Like, what Endeavor did was like, all right, you're not going to be the hero that I want, so go ahead and live a normal life. Like, that's what I got from that chapter. It was like, same thing with Toya. He was like, all right, Toya, your power is going to kill you. Please, just live a normal life. I'm going to ignore you. I'm going to be a shitty dad. But at the end of the day, I still want you to live a regular, normal life. Like, and that's what it was. And my thing is, like, Todoroki was just basically like, you had the opportunity to bond with your siblings after you enrolled in UA and stuff. You didn't. Like, you just decided to be a non-background hero. Like, everybody, the accountability that they're taking, I think, is for the wrong reasons. Because, like you said, I think it's Endeavor's fault that Toya is where he is, on top of Toya's mental issue that was never addressed. I think there was a mental issue there that should have been addressed.
That's true.
But the other siblings' things that they should have taken accountability for, I think was vastly different than what they actually ended up taking accountability for. Like, as a mom, her shit was like, maybe I shouldn't have got into a relationship with another fucked up person. That's where I probably could have corrected this whole thing right there. But since I did
that's a tough call, though.
I get you. I get she didn't have a choice there. But what I'm saying is, now that I went into this relationship, maybe I could have shown up better as a mom. Because what I didn't get from that story is that she showed up in any type of special way to combat Endeavor's like shittiness. I don't really. I felt like she was just like in the kid's boat of like, we're all being abused. Like, you know, I'm not gonna do it. But it's like, you had the power to at least be a good mom to those kids, instead of just like not present, which is what I felt like she ended up opting out to do. She was just like, all right,
that is how they're displaying her. You're right.
So Silent Blaze agrees with me, but like I said, I think both of what we're saying is right. It's like really complex. My biggest gripe with it is that he brought up this big complex issue, and it just like you try to explain it in a shonen-y way, and it just frustrates me because I'm like, this is not something you can unpack with the whole. Well, now we're taking accountability, and then Dabi's just gonna be our friend. It's like, no, there's layers of trauma in this shit. Like from Endeavor to the mom to the children, there's just all these layers of trauma, and you're not just gonna be like, oh, we saw Endeavor on his deathbed, so magically all this shit is fixed. No, and I think he like also had a big loss because Endeavor's story I think is very similar to what. Like, I bring up immigrant parents, but basically, like, parents who want their kids to succeed. Because it's not always, like, an immigrant thing. But it's, like, these parents who put all of their hopes and dreams on their kids. That's, like, a thing that happens today. And I felt like they just fell flat in how they chose to tell that story. Because I think it's actually more common than just Endeavor in the hero world based off how that society is set up, right? Like being a
That's
hero
true.
is,
I
like,
mean, they even said
out.
the taboo of the whole court breeding. So it definitely happened like for other cases.
Exactly. 100%. So I'm like that hero the hero society or becoming a hero is like being a doctor or engineer, it seems like in terms of this world. So it's like there's probably a lot of other people that are doing this Endeavor type of parenting where they're like, yeah, I'm just focusing on making you the best hero and you just have to get over that. And I feel like what the fuck? Like I feel like it's a loss because I'm like, they really could have explained this dynamic better and touched on it better. But he was just like, nah, fuck it, shonen. And then now I'm just like, oh, Hawks is in the background. What the fuck is he gonna say? Like, oh yeah, I came from a shitty father.
No, that's what.
So I know what it's like. Like, what? Like, what are you gonna add to this situation, bro?
It was such a. I mean, the whole Hawks being a part of this story, even at that touch, is almost like a. I don't know. It's. I don't know. It's just this whole.
He's gonna be their therapist. He's the one that's gonna. He's like, you know.
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
But my dad was a villain. Like he was like, hey, Dobby, I don't want you to go down the same route my dad did, or I feel like it's about to be some after school special dumb shit that I'm just gonna be like, yo, bro, get this arc out of my. All I'm looking for out of this arc right now. I think after these 2 chapters, I got my closure on what the fuck really happened. Right. I think that Todoroki is probably the biggest person exaggerating it because I think of all the kids, he suffered the least. Like, yes, you had to train and yes, you had to do a lot of bullshit, and I don't want to compare traumas, but I will say, like, it seems like Endeavor really loved him, and he was just, like, angry at Endeavor because he didn't let him play or he didn't let him build a relationship with his siblings. But I felt like his siblings, like, actually missed out on a father. You know what I'm saying? I think Todoroki's dad was there. He just didn't want to take that opportunity to bond with that motherfucker. He was like, yo, I'd rather bond with my siblings. So, either way, all I'm trying to get out of this is a hero suit from Todoroki and, like, him actually being back in the big 3 in terms of, like, putting in work and actually having powers. Like, I actually don't care about the story anymore. Like, as far as Todoroki's backstory and Endeavor's redemption arc goes, fuck them chapters. Just give me the Todoroki power up because whatever the fuck he's saying is bullshit in my mind.
Nope. I mean, I'm pretty much all with you. Like, I just want this just to straight be over. And let's actually get back to the current events at hand. Because, like, my God.
Silent Blade said, if we want to get to the root cause, all might mess the society up. And I mean, that's true to a degree. He set this big-ass gap up. But Endeavor's ass is also, that's another thing that I got to unpack about Endeavor. He's a goofy. Because I think you would realize at a certain point, I'm never going to catch up to this nigga. There's got to be something All Might had done or he witnessed that would let him know, like, no matter what I do, I will never beat this. I would, like, never, ever catch up to this dude.
That's pretty, And that was his realization.
And he took that realization and was like, all right, I'm going to have kids that might be better than this dude. But, like, once again, even if they have ice powers and can have unlimited fire, you would have had to, like, Endeavor would have had to fought All Might and damage him in some way in order for me to believe
for him to have that
plan
idea
was going to be successful. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Like, that's the only way. Because I'm like, if he fought him and multiple times and he saw that this nigga just smiled through everything he hit him with, I don't care if your son can regulate his heat, bro. It's not going to work. It's over with. Like, he's tripping.
That's actually fun. Like, F around, they could. I like that idea a lot. Like, because that's a very powerful point, right? Like, if homies, I forgot his name. Man, I forgot to move that fast. But like, whatever, like Endeavor's special move was Prominence Burn. There it is. Like, unless his Prominence Burn actually did work against All Might, like you made a valid point. Because if that literally did nothing, then it's like GG. You pretty much have to give up on your quirk, on heat quirks, on like anything, maybe even temperature related at that point. So that would mean your Prominence Burn did something, right? And like low key, that whole realization point, this could be scary to say, but I'd actually be willing to see that manga chapter or that anime episode just to see that. Just for him to be like, and homie's just like, I'm still here, but I got a little scratch. And he's like, you know what? All right. I need some babies with some ice powers or something.
Right.
Because that could actually be interesting to see, but F around. That'd be hilarious.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
So I've always said, I think about some athletes, they almost have to be unrealistic in their minds to do what do, even if they won't be the greatest. And then he said Endeavor still uses kids though, which is where he crossed the line. And yeah, I agree with that. But like I said, I think Endeavor's carrying a set of traumas. Only God knows what his parents was like that caused him to make that mistake. And the unfortunate part of it is that whatever Endeavor has done it's a very common storyline. Like, it's so common, it's more normal than not normal in the real world. Like, of having kids and putting your hopes and dreams on those kids. And maybe not taking it to the extent that he did, but that like you got to be better with no tools on how to do so. Just like, hey, you're gonna be better than me. Like, I'm not gonna really guide you on how, but like, just know that you have to live up to this expectation. And it fucks a lot of kids up. Like, I don't think I had I like aligned with some of the things I saw in this chapter, but I don't think my parents or father was anything like Endeavor in terms of like putting hopes and dreams on me. I was fortunate enough to not have that situation, but I definitely been around people and know people who've had similar situations like that. And it's just like, this is what people do. And I just brought it up because I know it's especially true in immigrant families where they brought themselves over to this country and basically their end of the road is like, I brought myself here so you have a better opportunity. So now you need to take the baton and take it to the next level. And it's like, that puts a lot of fucking pressure on the kid. So, I don't know. We got a little real on the podcast. I mean, on the live today. But that
real life situations,
because it was just like, it was so unnecessary. I was just like, why even bring it up? Like, it could have.
No, that's it. No, that was the last big point I wanted to mention, was that I think the biggest issue, just at least like definitely with us here at the Untitled Podcast as readers, is that they chose to touch on such a deep issue, again, using a My Hero platform as a shonen anime, you know? It doesn't fit. Like, I don't think shonen always touches on things like these, like, you know, that's the background, here's an episode to explain why, cool, I bet. But with what they're doing with Endeavor and like the whole fan, blah, 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 they just spent so much time and chapters on it without properly describing it and diving even as deep as necessary to describe it. Because again, it's a shonen anime. It's almost like it's fighting against itself, talking about such a deep issue. So it's like, oh, let me get up in here. Whoop. This is actually pretty deep. Let me stop like right here just to give you a little something more and then back on out.
And I felt like they showed that level of sophistication with deep issues with Tomura's backstory. Because I fucking hate Tomura, but like I really felt for him in that backstory. Like, seeing what he went through and then seeing how basically, if just one person, after he killed his entire family, if just one person was like, hey, showed him like a nicety, he would never have been where he was today. But because everyone was so focused on being selfish and being a dick, he's where he is today, right? And the world is suffering for it. And I felt like that was very sophisticated writing. Like, that was something that I was like, okay, a character I absolutely hate. You at least made me understand why he's, like, angry and dumb, right? Like, I understand why he doesn't think through things and why he's just mad at the world. Because that's what the world showed him. But I'm like, to do this with the Endeavor storyline, I'm expecting that same level of sophistication. And like I said, it's just a flop. Like, it's just like, okay, what's the point of this? And he was already seasoning that it was gonna be a flop, because as Todoroki kept talking, I'm just like, bro, this is not seeming as bad as it makes it seem. Like, I'm like, the way you had the hate for your dad, he wouldn't even have my phone number. It's like your dad's texting you good luck, and you just like, hey, I'm just gonna ignore it. I was like, you sound more like a spoiled brat than you do like a kid that was going through some real trauma. You feel me? So I don't know, bro.
I mean, not to mention right. The last thing I'll say is that with the Shimura backstory is that, again, how many chapters did they do that? Right. Like 2, 3, like what, 3 max maybe?
That's true.
So they were able to deliver that quickety quick. Exactly. All right. And Devil's backstory, I know it's got to hit like almost like double digits now as far as if you really.
We've still been talking about this.
So like, I mean, it's just like, again,
I'm just wondering where the fan base is that was asking for this. Because, or maybe it's like the writer's selfish thing, because I don't really understand who's pushing this interest in their storyline. I'm interested in Todoroki's.
It's got to be personal, bro.
I'm not interested in his backstory, and right now I'm like, even I think Endeavor's gonna have to give up the dream at this point, because Deku's gonna be stronger, first of all, and second of all, even after like, you know, Todoroki resolves this Dabi shit. My hope is that he just realizes that, like, oh, well, you are better than All Might because you have a bigger heart than that nigga, or some stupid shit like that. So we can just put the closure bow around Endeavor, thinking that anybody's ever going to be better than All Might. Because the unfortunate truth is, some motherfuckers was just born to be in second place. And that's sad. It sucks, but you don't know that your second place birth may help someone achieve their first place birth. So that might have been why he was there, and he just can't wrap his head around, look, maybe this wasn't what I was meant for. Like, yeah, I was meant to be a hero, but maybe my goal was something else in this heroism shit, instead of trying to be the strongest, physically strongest hero that there is. Like, you can just save more people, my nigga, like, or not. Do something else, bro. Like, be the one who resuscitates the most motherfucking, win in some other shit. I don't know.
True.
But he tripping. Look, this is decent. This is like a decent trash to me. I was bored. I was disappointed. He just flopped on everything for me, bro. It was just a decent trash. I can't get behind it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
If I skip both of those chapters, I wouldn't feel like I felt like I got the exact same closure from reading those 2 chapters as I got not knowing what the fucking story was in the first place.
No, you're right. Like, the only thing you would need to know is that, okay, family's together and Endeavor's going to now be more positive and maybe start doing a little bit more ish than what we thought he was going to do.
He was already trying.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to think anything positive here. Looking for anything to grasp on. Looking like nothing.
We might have to switch names.
Ooh, they got Best Genius in the chapter.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay. They clutched it.
Decent trash plus for me for Best Genius. He can carry a chapter. He can at least give a chapter a plus from his opinion.
Nah, okay, yep. I'm ditto. Decent trash plus, bro. Let's go. Right. Best Genius for the same. Only 2 clean 24/7. Gotta give some clout.
Silent Blade said this chapter went from 100% bad dad to 90% bad dad. I think that's
facts.
Right. Throwaway chapters for sure. LML, he was like in 2 panels. Oh, you talking about this?
That's worth it. That's enough for a plus for me, bro.
Hey, it was.
Don't sleep on the Best Genius clout. It's real. Like, bro.
All right, let's move on to something a little bit better.
All right.
Black Clover chapter 283. Once again, If you don't want spoilers, mute or disappear and come back in 10 to 20 minutes. Um, Black Clover, chapter 283. You can give the overview of this chapter if you want.
I'm trying to remember which one this was. We already got introduced to the armor. Okay, so let's see. Page 283, a huge melee, depends on how you want to pronounce it. So pretty much Asta just straight bodies Big Demon, which again, mad respect, crazy, almost Marileona status, like definite big ups. And then it looks like the squad pretty much transports him so they can start doing work up in the Spade Kingdom. And then we see my buddy Fuego Leon with Salamander doing mad work. Again, got to respect in the top three because Buddy got power for days. He's just doing work. Then they finally starting to get bodied. And here comes the intro to the rest of the Black Bull squad. Pretty much everybody looking dope, ready to rumble, except for Asta, which I want to note. So low key, he's probably cranking it with somebody else. And is going to roll straight into maybe helping out or somebody. Not sure where he's going to go first. But that's going to end up being interesting. But like the biggest thing is just kind of setting up the intro to the battle separations, which is likely going to happen with the rest of the Black Bull squad. I'm trying to see if there was any power-ups that we saw from the get-go from these kids. And it doesn't look like anything. I actually got to give some big ups to Leopold. I'm actually surprised they put him in the front. Like how he did, I thought he would kind of be like in the little background, like, bro, I'm here, gonna do they actually like putting some respect on his name by putting him up there, like in the foreground, like that.
Compared to this group of niggas, like Noel deserves to be up front, Luck deserves to be up front, and Gaja deserves to be up front only because we didn't see him get bodied. But everyone else, I believe, none of these are elves. I think those other people are the other.
No, don't sleep. I think isn't that that's what's his face? That's Pantry in the back. Like if you look at that last panel, I think so.
You're talking about this dude because I got it in the picture.
You're talking. You talking about like one? Right above Lux,
the dude with the black coat?
knee, like his leg. Isn't that Patrick?
The dude with the black coat?
No. If you look at like right in between Lux's right arm and his right leg, you see a face. I think that's Patrick.
Oh yeah, okay. I see him back there. That's true. Okay, that is Patrick back there. But I mean, it's Patrick, so fuck him too. He's kind of trash. Lich, not trash at all. Patrick, he down there. But yeah, because to me, I think these other people right here that are by Gaja, I'm assuming we're the other Guardians that just came back and tried to get their redemption song.
I think so.
Which we'll see how that goes. But to me, Leopold survived while these other Guardians died. So that at least means he better be in front of their asses. Like, fuck.
That's fair.
Gaja.
No, that's fair.
My one question for you, though, was do you know or have an idea of who swooped Asta up? Because I thought it was them, but it's not.
That's what I was saying. And I don't see... oh, my God. Damn. I can't think of Buddy's name. Transportation Buddy in the Black Bulls.
Yeah, he was not in this group. So I'm like...
Why can I not think of his name right now? Because Longest is his brother. Yeah. I know it's not Longest, right? Damn. Why can I not... Fuck.
I forget.
Oh, and Silent says no Magma. Oh, no. Are they actually about to put respect his name by going to be baddies?
What I will say, no. What I will say, because Silent Blaze is on to something, bro. What I will say is after reading this chapter, I was like, Magna still hasn't shown up. We've got the return. We got the return of the, like, the niggas who are going to, like, turn the tide the second time. So, like, Asta's coming through. Noelle and her group are coming through. So we know we're about to get, like, another set of battles to show off what they've learned.
Right.
And I'm like, Magna did not show up with this crew. So I'm like, this nigga is going to show up a third time for a third turnaround. And if he show up on this third turnaround, that nigga might have his own squad after we see what he does. Because they're setting him up. Like, they are grooming it. I don't know where this nigga Magna went, bro.
No, bro.
That might be a good move for them.
Like, I mean, the only thing that I could see happening, which is going to suck for y'all, but Magna might be on the low tier in the sense of he's only with them to get bodied for a revenge power up.
No, here's what I can see. Whoever scooped up Asta, Magna might be with that group. So that way, when Asta lands, Magna could be like the first fight handle, because you know how they do. Like when the main character comes, there's always something that tries to block you in that first fight,
Right. Oh,
and then
right.
like the nigga next to you is like, "Don't worry, I got it." You feel me? So I feel like maybe Magna will show up there and then be like, "Yo, Asta, you go ahead. You got the real niggas to fight, and I'll take out whoever this annoying motherfucker is in the beginning, who will be significantly strong, so we can see what he does, but he won't be that crazy to where." It's putting him on some crazy ass magic level. But my thing is he has to show up in this tier. Because if he shows up outside of this tier, they're basically putting God tier status hype on Magna.
That's what I'm saying. And I can't support it. Like Silent Blaze, I see you. But I mean I don't see it, bro. Like I don't see him
coming through with Asta, or he's gonna help Asta in like whatever first battle he's gonna run into. Because I just see it as more of like an Asta help. I mean, he could potentially help this group too, but I feel like the Asta help has more meaning to it. You know what I mean? I just feel like it's a better.
No, I mean that logic makes sense. I mean, it makes sense, and I can't fight it. Right. It's just that like Magna. I guess I take that back. Magna being there is the only point that I would use as my fight. It's like, oh, bro, Alden actually like legit status, and then what's Magna doing over here?
Silent Brave brought up a good point. Zora's gone too. The poor niggas are.
Oh, see, Zora, I can see like Zora. Don't see about Zora, bro. Like I've always been with Zora. Like Zora just like he got strats, like he got smarts, he got strats, and then like if they actually like gave him a reasonable power up with it, I can see them being definitely a big hitter. I'm actually more like considering that logic though. F around, it's more surprising why Noelle and Luck are with this group, if you think about it, because Luck is one way up there, and two, Noelle got a grudge match to finish off with what's her face.
Exactly.
So it's like using that. It's like it's actually a little curious what she's even doing down here. Like she should be a part of that group too, 100%.
No, but I think that's where she's headed. Like my guess is that. So here's my thought: the way it's laid out, I see important elves or elves that like are sort of fan favorites or have had a significant presence in the story, like Patry. If Liar's here, Liar. Like those two and Veto, they will get like a significant solo fight. These Guardians, I think we're just going to get their redemption song minus Gaja. I think Gaja's going to get another special fight. And he might even be with Noelle when they try to fight Curse Lady because of the whole relationship. Or he fights the doctor guy. But basically, whoever hurt his queen, I think is what they're going to set up Gaja as a fight for. Like somebody just weak enough that he can beat, but like strong enough to where we can show off his power, but not so strong that it overshines any of the main characters. So I feel like Dr. Homie or helping Noelle is that. But I think those other Spirit Guardians are probably going to stay on the ground and be like, hey, we'll protect some niggas.
Yeah, for the basic
beam. I don't want to see Tito Vermillion get another fight, but maybe he'll get another semi-important fight or help his sister out, like Mara Leona or something. But in my mind, the only two people I see getting significant fights, minus like the elves I mentioned, are like you said, Noelle and Luck. I think they will get another set of like significant battles. Noelle's obviously going to be Megacula demon chick, and then Luck. I don't think he's gonna. I could see either an assist or like a stronger than the big demons, weaker than the big three. You know what I mean? Like whatever, there's probably going to be a mid-tier or something that fits in the middle of that type of demon that shows up. And I think Luck could fight that or assist somebody. But I can't see him a solo fight against any of the Dark Triad because he just doesn't have a relationship with any of them. Unless he's going to fight Xeno because he was scared before and now he's not scared. Like that would be the only battle that I'm like, oh, there is some connection there, but it's still a reach.
That's true. No, I'm in complete agreement. Like, actually, now that you said that, it kind of sparked my thinking. But even the Dark Triad in the whole, like, I still feel like there's going to be another big bad, even possibly, if not like some kind of weird combo of the three. I mean, I hope they don't do that, but that'd be weird. As far as like combining the Dark Triad into some one kind of super demon in the end. I doubt it, but just to put it out there because it's anime. But no, I think they're gonna pull another. What would you want to call it? The elf arc, as far as like the devil being the secret big bad, or always like the big bad controlling things. They might do something almost identical in the sense of there's another super demon that we just don't know of yet. That after like beating the Dark Triad, homie's gonna be like, "Whoop! Should have stopped it 5 seconds later. Now here comes the big devil demon," and then he's gonna do work. And then what happens? Yet again, Clover. He gonna pop up with another power up, and then
it's gotta be
like
Asta combo. Maybe Noelle in the back end now, and Yami to put.
Oh, that's true.
We might end it similar to how we ended the Elf arc. Like Yami and William may wake the fuck up and be like, "Hey, bro, we might have been absorbed, but we still got these hands, bro." Combo, and add it up on his ass. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how he's gonna play this out because I thought that the arc before this was gonna go longer, like the assault arc where they all kind of pulled up on them. I guess it went on for a significant amount of time, but I thought it was gonna go on. I thought we were gonna see more individual fights. So I'm very interested with all of the superstars we basically have on the battlefield right now. I wonder how many solos we're really gonna see here, or how many combos we're gonna end up doing because we got some light. I don't know if he's going to stop there with them. Like the ones we've already seen, like the Jacks, the Charlottes. Like, I wonder if he's going to go like, no, I'll give you guys another round of fighting, or if he's just going to dead them there and we kind of got our... Because they had their power-ups, right? Like, each one of them had their power-ups. It's just,
I mean, for the captains, I mean, not the Black Clover peeps, though. That was the whole thing. Like, they pretty much highlighted, like, the people that we knew... Not really from feats, but more just about clout. Again, the captains, as far as like actually doing work. Now it's for the people that was truly training, that we kind of even saw do some training.
Right, but then
which is pretty much like the Black Clover buddies.
Yeah, but then but we know Yuno's got to have some shine. So that's why it's like it can't stop. If everyone's done, Yuno's not. That's the one thing we know because he's just too important to like. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just not gonna.
No, you're right.
Him. Like maybe he'll just keep fighting Xeno till the end and like get another power up mid battle in order to beat him, or he'll get some help. I'm not really sure, but that shit. Yeah, Yuno, I just don't see it being over with. Like I said, I see this more like the Soul Society redemption arc. Like how after Soul Society, you saw Ichigo pretty much run through all the captains so they look like hoes. So basically they were like, the Kubo was like, nah, let me show you that they're not as shitty as you thought. So like the arc after that, we got to see Hitsugaya, we got to see all like the people Ichigo kind of like dropped or got dropped in that arc. Show off that they're not as hoish as you think they are. So I felt like that's what we got from Charlotte and Jack and all them, because it was like, okay, y'all been around, but more or less we've seen you either get hold or just like not be the fuck around. So I don't know. I'm very interested to see how it's gonna play out. But I think this year is gonna. I don't know. He could end it in the first half of this year, like this arc could be over with, or this could take the whole year. I just have no idea where he wants to go with it, and that's like good. That's a good thing for me. Like I'm happy to not know where this is gonna go, and I'm excited to see where he takes it.
No, it's true. I mean, he's definitely opened up the doors, and for that, it's almost, you could almost even look at the arc, at least from here on out, as a whole, as this is again going to be showing you the what do you want to call it? The next power structure foundation for, I guess, like the rest of the series. Right. For the simple fact that we haven't been introduced to a plethora of enemies or villains to balance out all the heroes, or like Black Clover, whatchamacallit, Black Bull's team, as far as like to balance out all the villain and bad guys for like the powers to mesh and really to show off the verses, what I mean. Right. So in a sense, all he has to do is simply create kind of basic but strong level demons so they can show out, pretty much like body them, then go to the Dark Triad, do the blah 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 blah, body him, and then the next arc, like after like the whole Devil's arc, the next arc is when they show like, oh, here's this kingdom or country with just a whole squad of just OP mother effers. Yeah. So then the true 1v1s that like we're currently expecting to really see here is not going to really be OP until that next arc. So I think like low key, he's using this arc as more just to really show what every strong mother effer that he wants from the whole kingdom to have.
I see what you're saying. I feel you.
So it's like so it's like the best like resemblance that I kind of like low key see as far as comparison goes is almost like what they did. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but in FT when the whole Spriggan 12 showed up. So it's pretty much like what we knew like before that arc was pretty much like everybody that we knew was strong had like a very, if you think about it, slight power up before they got, too stupid with the whole blah, blah, blah. But they started actually having that 1 and 2 versus the Spriggan 12, which you really got to really see. But the arc before that was just kind of outlining who we recognize truly as strong. So.
No, I agree. I think that's dope. And like, I mean, just to add to what you said, well, first of all, Silent Blade Star, your point was dope. And then he said great character development for sure and just pure hands. Yep, that's Black Clover.
That's what Black Clover promised.
For me, I really like the concepts that he put in because, like you said, right now, and I honestly think further in this arc, we're getting a taste of where, like you said, each of the development is going. So, like the rune magic, we've already got introduced to it. I'm assuming this and maybe what they train with the elves is going to build on that concept. So basically, royal / special niggas are going to improve on this rune magic thing. Like that's going to be their power progression. Like anybody with this elemental and royal bloodline, you can expect their development to go here in creative ways, of course, right? And then there's also the spirits that get added to it. Now, why I think Magna and Zora are going to be interesting is because these are like the non-Arcana stage, because we also have those Arcana stage niggas who may use rune magic, but basically their brokenness is within their magic itself, so it's just going to be crazy off that. But what Magna and Zora are going to pull out from their power-up is really going to show us what base level niggas are going to be able to do, because they're not going to have any of this clout, right? He already had the difficulty with the rune magic. So my thing is they may come out with something totally different as far as how to build their power system and their power scale. That might blow the story out the water, because I'm like, he has so many different power building aspects within this world. Like this has to go like or get an award for one of the greatest, or I would say versatile, because I can't say greatest yet till it's over.
Yeah,
one of the most versatile
I hear you, though.
I've seen. Because with Nen, it's like Nen was a concept that allowed people to go crazy. But what he's doing is he's actually created like different power systems, some that based off magic and some that are just in their own realm, all within the same world, and it's working. Like Asta with the demon power development, like that tree is going to be totally different than what we see Noel's development go into. You know what I'm saying? Where in most shonen, it's off the same base, meaning like.
No, I see what you're saying.
When you saw the captains in Bleach, they all, there was Shikai then Bankai. You knew you were going to get a Bankai or a Shikai from everyone. You just didn't know how it was going to look. But that system was the same. My thing is like Magna and Zora are probably going to have a totally different growth system. Noel, the elves, Charmy, like in this dwarf thing, motherfucking these motherfuckers from the different countries have their own ways of building magic. Like, yo, I don't know where Black Clover is going, but please don't do a Toriko to me, bro. I'm gonna be hot if they cancel this before they really see this shit to fruition, because I'm getting that vibe of like this can be huge. I'm not even gonna go Goku whatever levels, but I'm just saying if they really let this story go to fruition and don't cancel this bullshit, I think we're gonna see one of the most interesting and versatile power systems we've ever seen in a shonen to date. Because I can't think of anything that had this much complexity in terms of like the way they're developing the characters. It's almost like
no,
each
true.
person has like a class system, but it's not so defined in that way. It's more like the tribes kind of influence that a little bit. The magic influences that a little bit. It's just so unique. It's really hard to compare it to something similar. There's definitely been diverse power sets, but they've all been based off the same concept and rules. He's developed it so he can basically make up the rules as he sees fit, and it doesn't seem crazy to the audience because it doesn't contradict someone else's power. Like adding the Ruby has no effect on whatever Asta does. Adding the demon concepts he's adding has no effect on what's going on with like Noel and stuff. He was somehow able to isolate that. That nigga crazy, bro. I don't know. Somebody gotta put respect on his name because this is amazing. It's up there.
That's true. And then like the last supporting thing is simply that there's not anyone that it's 100% unique to, which I think is an important fact as far as to how do you say it? As far as to keep the balance within all these different power structures. Because if you have one that just becomes like, you know, like just stupid under, like you can't even understand it OP, that's the problem that like some of the shonen MCs like follow through. And because of that system, it just makes everything basic and just less, what do you want to call it? Just less like valued, I guess, in my opinion. So because like everyone has at least 1 to 2 other people at a minimum that kind of uses that same structure, that's perfect.
Right. And one other great thing I think he added was the fact that the leaders are growing with the youngins. I think that's a concept that's not ever really used often in the shonen world. Like once you are introduced to like a captain level or a leader level person in the story, their power remains what that was when you met them. They don't have any sort of development or learn anything new. The fact that he's allowing them to grow with the characters is avoiding that case of like more plot holes, basically where eventually you see like Asta make a jump that makes him so much stronger than a particular character that was established to be a certain tier. You go, okay, well, Asta's always going to be the strongest. So now this totally even changes up the versus arguments in this story because
that's true.
Yami's level in the beginning of the story is not Yami's level now. He's actually learning new spells. So he's changing. Asta's changing. Yo, let me stop writing motherfucking. It's good. Everybody who's listening to me already knows it's fucking good. I'm gonna stop putting the extra respect on it. I'm done. Y'all know I fuck with it. It's up there, bro. I'm not. It's not my top 1 yet. It's not my favorite anime of all time, but it's definitely breaking my favorite anime list with what they're doing with this power system. And just don't fuck it up, man. If they fuck it up, it's gonna hurt me worse than Bleach, I think. Because I might have to just pick it up. I'm not a writer, but like if they fuck this up, I think I would be inspired to just rewrite the whole thing. Like rewrite where they fucked up and just write it better. I'd be like a fanfic nigga. I never.
And you gonna drop a fan fiction for us, bro?
I think I would, man. I'm really curious to see where he takes this, bro. This is what Fairy Tail should have done.
That's facts, though. That's facts, though.
Yeah.
Damn. That's got me a sad face. The potential FT that was never achieved.
Because Fairy Tail was having that, like you said. Every arc was a new unbeatable villain. The problem is it never inspired real change out of the characters. They just did the same shit. Like, we got a new power every once in a while, or we would finally see some shit that we've been waiting on seeing, but it wasn't the same level of development that we're seeing here. Like, these niggas, the last arc, they basically fought the demon that was like the bane of their country for hundreds of years. They just beat this nigga, and now they're like, hey, we're fighting niggas even stronger than that nigga. But I don't feel that same fairy tale power of friendship bullshit, right? Like, they actually were like, oh, we're going to go put in the work to beat
100%. It's just like, bro, we can't handle the harm of these kids. Like, we need to literally get stronger. and actually like explore different concepts of how to get stronger and explain it while getting stronger. You know, logic, reasoning.
I'm ready to rate it. This chapter is not getting that high of a rating, but
100%. Like,
but my hype on Black Clover,
it was decent, but
we haven't used this rating in a while. But Black Clover as a series right now has Toriko level hype to me. Like this was, we haven't used it much, so maybe the like new fans don't know about it. But we had a rating for like hypeness. So if something was like a chapter, or it was focused on a chapter, but for me, I'm giving this to the series. If a chapter set it up so well that you were like insanely hyped for the next chapter, we gave it a Toriko, because Toriko would do that consistently. Like those last few chapters of Toriko, every chapter you read was like, what the fuck are they going to pull out in the next chapter, bro? Like, I don't even know where this shit is going. It had the craziest amount of hype I've ever seen. So,
all the time, just shook.
Black Clover as a series, if they do this power system right, bro, is Toriko level hype. This chapter itself is like a decent plus. Like, it was okay. It was interesting. I'm glad they arrived. I was actually more hype about finally seeing Asta suit, which I think was okay. So I was actually a little bit disappointed that they, you know, dragged that out, because it wasn't really anything special. I don't really like I like the power development of the demons, but I'm not a fan of how he's making
the actual design.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
but
like,
Player 5 mentioned the same thing, actually.
Yeah, I don't like the knock design. Like with this thing, it just doesn't look as, maybe I want it flashier, I don't really know, but so to me, I'll give the chapter itself like a decent plus. But yeah, Black Clover the series, Toriko level hype right now.
Mm-hmm.
That like, the anime makes it that far, Silent Blaze, because them motherfuckers is ending, ain't they?
There's no definites yet. I'm just hoping. I really hope they don't end the series anytime soon. Bro, like the anime, okay, I understand. I really I don't have to rehash it. The anime, completely understand. They want to stop it to hold off of it getting too close. Okay, don't make no filler. Stop it. Bet. Yeah. Don't even worry about it, and just bring it back later. Like, that's all you got to do. You can literally take like a year, 2 years. I mean, okay, if you want to, and just bring it back. The hype should still be there if like fans are actually like fans. The hype should still be there. So
I'm just saying, be the first anime ever to go from, we was trying to run this shit, but we realized we couldn't. It's seasonal now. Like, just do that. Like, well, look, we're going to build it up to this episode. We're going to stop, and we'll come back, like you said, in a year. And this time, we're not going to do that again. We're going to do, like, 25, like, just a long season, like a 25-episode season.
Okay.
50-episode season. That way, you still feel like you got your chunk of TV and you have a lot to catch up with, and by the time they come back around, you didn't miss that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't feel like that long of a break between seasons.
No, 100%. I mean, like, you could just treat it like a, I mean, I'm not going to say a normal, we'll just say live action show, since we're talking about anime, but just treat it like, you know, just a live show practically. It just comes back kind of thing. So it's fine. No worries. But no, I'm kind of ditto with you. I don't think I can give it a plus, in all honesty. They wouldn't give it a straight decent.
Yeah.
Nothing bad, nothing good, decent, good, high. I mean, I guess the plus maybe for the hype, but I don't know. I mean, maybe it's the Magna talk, but I'm not ready to give that plus. I don't know what to tell you. So, yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah, straight decent, but no, I'm definitely feeling the Toriko vibes for the whole series. I mean, we've been saying it like for a minute now. Black Clover been hot for a minute now, and they're living it up to what it's been doing for, again, a minute now. So big ups.
All right. I did want to jump to our other topic, but I have to bring it up, so I'm gonna jump to Jujutsu Kaisen, chapter 139. He said, "Hey man, coming in strong in the next couple of chapters. Watch." All right. So Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 139. I really just wanted to bring up a question that came to my mind. So once again, usual, if you don't want spoilers for Jujutsu Kaisen, I know the anime is hot right now. You might want to pause. But so what happened with Yuji? This Choso being manipulated into thinking Yuji's his brother. So I was talking to my little brother actually about this, and he said his friend told him that It's a power. I don't know if I missed this, but they
Wait,
said it's like a
how?
power of his curse or Sukuna that he was able to trick Choso. Like basically, if something kills him, it's a curse power that allows him to do what he did to Choso. Like he did that to Choso basically, and it's
Oh,
somehow a
word?
thing. I don't know. That's why I wanted to bring this question up because when he told me, I was like, I haven't heard the community talking about that, and I thought maybe
I don't remember
us or the
at
fans
all.
got this better than we did or I did because
I guess so. Like,
I was very confused.
yeah, okay. Silent Blaze is with us too. I'm
Right,
glad we're not
exactly. He said
alone
on
in
top of
that.
all this, and that's big facts because I was
That
like,
is
yo,
that
this
is
Laguna
completely
nigga
new. I
is
thought it was off some
crazy.
old. So I mean, let's not forget. I mean, the anime like just hit
Right.
this on it too. But when effing oh my god, now I can't think of his name. Tojo. When Tojo like became best friends with Yuji, that was all delusion. This mother effer literally created a backstory in an instant to become best friends with him.
Yeah.
So after seeing that, I just looked at this as like, oh, okay, just one of the things like, okay, you're my little brother now. Like I literally made that comparison and just left it as is. I didn't realize it was a literal power. You know, like I thought, like I think there was an explanation, very slight one if I remember right, but I thought that was. I mean, I barely remember it. I thought it was just, oh, okay, I guess he's just my little brother because logic. I mean, I didn't even think too hard into it.
Bro,
But you're saying this is a Sukuna power?
that's what someone told my little brother when he was telling him spoilers about this, and I was like, I did not
That's
interpret it that
interesting.
way. I just was confused on the whole, but I definitely didn't interpret it as a power. And just like, yeah, so I
God
guess we're
damn.
all confused. But to continue on with the Jujutsu Kaisen talk, another part that like just blew me is these niggas about to be way too goddamn strong. Like I'm just thinking about it because I went back right when dude was gonna get introduced, Buddy with the sword, and I read his
Yeah.
backstory, and I'm just like, okay, so he's Yuji, he's the original Yuji, he's the first Yuji
Right.
storyline. Gojo, well, really Megumi might technically be that, but Gojo took him under his wing, was like, hey, Jujutsu Sorcerer Society, fuck you again for trying to get involved in shit. No, you're not killing this
That's
motherfucker.
true.
And that's another thing you gotta address is some whoever that Jujutsu Society Council, like at this point, they know they can't fuck with Gojo, right? Just listen to that nigga. Like, I don't even understand who's making the rules or why Gojo just doesn't be like, no, you guys are done making rules. But clearly, most normal people think what they do is stupid half the time. And I'm just like, do they think what they do is stupid? Anyways, between that guy, this new guy, which I keep forgetting his name, Yuji, Megumi, Gojo, and then potentially Maki if she ends up to gets the stretch like her uncle or whatever. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, how strong are these niggas gonna be? Like Megumi got like strong ass nigga clout from the Sukuna
Right.
and his power alone. Yuji, we know at like because I remember well, I didn't pick this up when I read the manga, but apparently, as Yuji and the Sukuna's relationship grows, he's naturally getting Sukuna's powers, like on a smaller scale, but he's actually like obtaining this nigga's powers. So at a certain point, Yuji just base is gonna be able to pull out Sukuna's shit. And then it's like not only like when the Sukuna comes out, only God knows what's gonna happen then. I'm just like, and then if Gojo come back out again, I don't see how. I think Gojo's kind of dumb. That's how I'll put it. Like, I think Gojo's dumb for not, or maybe he's waiting for this moment for everybody to finally reach their pinnacle to be like, fuck it, we're starting our own jujitsu thing. But in my mind, I'm like, you're dumb for not just like leaving these niggas or killing these niggas because no one can beat you. Like they consistently say that. No, the fact that these contingency plans were put in place, like I laughed so hard when they read Naobito's like will, and he was like, yeah, the leader would have been this guy, but in the happenstance that Gojo was no longer in the picture, their will. If this nigga Gojo dies, we can live a normal life again.
No.
So they literally aren't living how they supposed to live because Gojo's in existence. Like, I just find that shit absolutely... Like, he probably should have added, and kill Maki at the end of that. Because I'm sure Gojo was also like, you're not touching Maki either. I'll body you. He should have just been like, all right, so Megumi's the new head, and kill Maki. Like, that's it. I'm like, yo, these things are crazy, man.
Oh god, no, 100%. Like man. Like the 2 points you make are just completely accurate. I don't have like any points to really disagree. It's more just like who really is keeping Gojo in check, kind of thing. It's because like like he himself has pretty much said that I'm following these rules completely because I want to, even though I don't like it. And it's just like, and that's the point that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like
some kiddie backstory thing. Like his backstory, whoever trained him or whatever probably instilled this value system in him. Because in my mind, I'm like, bro, what?
Right. I mean, by all logic, he should be the head of the council in a sense, you know?
Oh, right.
Like they could have easily just made him like the what would you want to call it? Like the lazy head of like something, you know what I mean? Right. Where he just like he still does what he wants to, even though he's the head of like the main council kind of character. He doesn't show up to no
meetings, but he's the leader, dude.
Right, like that's the kind of personality and like the power that we're kind of seeing from this. Right. So it's just like for it to not follow that concept doesn't make sense. And I mean, unless I missed it, I'm still waiting on like the explanation as to the why he really is doing it.
And to me, shit, low-key, the Jujutsu Society, I wouldn't even trust them niggas. They was probably involved in this prison realm shit. Real talk. Because if I'm thinking about it, I'm just like, like, if you think about it, because we already know they're dumb, so knowing them, they probably didn't even think about this. If Gojo has his way, Megumi's under his wing.
Okay.
They already know, because Naruto put it in his will, they know Megumi is the like strongest person coming from their clan and the person to rival Gojo. So they already know this. This guy is going to be allies with the like instead of being enemies, they're going to be allies. So two of the strongest niggas, right? Like the guy who's stronger than Gojo basically looks up to Gojo as his dad. Then on top of that, Yuji has the Sukuna, the strongest demon they've ever seen, on his side, right? And instead of killing him, he's basically training him to control that nigga. Meaning, Gojo already is going to have two chess pieces. Now, this is just for niggas who read the current story. Oh, let's go ahead and read a prequel. Wait, there's a third nigga with godlike power that is also friends with Gojo. And this nigga, like, that part is the part I didn't understand. Why he, from what I saw in the backstory, I don't know why he would ever listen to the Sorcerer Council, but I guess he's their slave now. But in my mind, I'm like, you're also Gojo's friend. So basically, if you think about it, right, just as a leader of this world, they already lost if they don't kill Gojo.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to find a way to lock this nigga up. So in my mind, shit, they might already be working for Geto, or Geto is in cahoots with them. Because if not, then they're just the dumbest society of leaders I've ever seen. Because basically, as soon as Gojo got Megumi, I'm like, we kind of already lost. But then he had Yuji? I'm like, so we have to assassinate this nigga. Like, they're talking about, like, we have to kill this dude. And then it was like, but the funniest thing is, like, even before he got those two chess pieces, he already had a broken-ass chess piece.
That's true.
And they also were just like, well, it's Gojo, so, like, no. I'm like, regardless, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, so just go ahead and do it. You feel me?
Exactly. So I don't know. Like maybe that really is it. Like in a sense, homie just doesn't care. Like he's pulling like a Julius from Black Clover. He's literally effing around just to F around.
Oh,
like that's pretty much like that. That's the only way that can at least make sense to me why he's doing the things, how he's doing the things.
Yeah.
Like he's just like no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was simply saying like that's like at some point he's just gonna be like, you know what? Yeah, I like this squad. How this is sitting now. All right, yo, cancel. Like y'all done now. You're just done. Like don't even worry about it. Just you're done now. And like that's just gonna happen. Like right when like Sukuna gets like completely under Yuji's control, like something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just like, bro, look at me, look at my squad. You're done now.
And I'm just like,
as
cocky as Ghetto was, that's the other funny part because it's like Ghetto even knows that like, well, whoever's inhabiting Ghetto's body is so scared because he's like, if this nigga Gojo sees me, he's going to murder me on the spot. Like, he already knows I'm not who I look like. I'm somebody else. So for the fact that I defiled his best friend's body, he's going to murder me on the spot. Like, I have to lock this nigga up because if he sees me, he's going to murder me on the spot. Like, and I'm just like, yo,
it's happening.
I think that's what made me get hooked to Jujutsu Kaisen or why it's so funny is just that like this nigga Gojo said who he was and like normally niggas say that but they like nah there's some niggas better. And they were like, no. That day one he said I'm the strongest and it was like every other aspect of that show was just reiterating that that's him.
That's it.
This nigga said like the second day he was like, yeah, everybody's so scared of this Sukuna. Gojo, do you think you could beat him? He was like, if he came out now, yeah, I dropped that nigga.
Yeah. Just like, yeah.
What?
I can do it. I was like, yeah. It's like, yeah, damn. just like that. Introduced to the strongest character in the entire series. Like, okay, right. That's like, cool.
Huh?
Oh,
and then you tell me that he's like that, right? And we saw his backstory, how he came up and like established himself. But I'm like, then you tell me that Megumi's stronger? Like, what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? And Megumi's on his own shit. Like, to me, Gojo's like, having fun and blah. I don't get that personality from Megumi. I'm like, let him get Gojo power. That nigga's like. And I don't even know what the Zenin family is planning to do by making him the head. I'm like, do you think that this is going to make your family better? Because I'm like, as the head, first thing I'm doing as Megumi. So, do y'all have like a vice president? Yeah, we do. We got like a vice head clan. All right, that person's now Maki Zenin. What? Yeah.
That's facts, though.
But like, y'all made me the leader. Remember that, right? Okay. Like, that's it. Like, I mean, like the whole thing is getting flipped on his head. Like day one, they tripping. They don't. Exactly. I don't know why now Obito thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, that's I don't know.
I don't know. I think are they gonna indoctrinate this nigga? Like I don't know how they're gonna think that because they made him the leader, he's now like, oh yeah, Zenin family for sure. It's like maybe it's like a power play within the whole like family dynamic because we really haven't got much details in that either. Like how all these different jujitsu families play against each other. I'm sure there's some dynamic there, but once again, I don't see how making Megumi the head of the clan is really fixing that because Megumi's just gonna do his own shit. And then don't let him find out what y'all did to his daddy.
Ooh.
Don't let him find out what y'all did to his daddy. Because I bet you one of the niggas that did some dumb shit to his daddy is still alive in that clan. Don't let him find out it was you. Y'all gonna be playing some let's beat the curses in a room somewhere. Kumi goes, he was like, I wonder if you could beat this curse. Guess not.
Stop toying with kids, bro.
But yeah, so I just had to put that out there about you.
No, you good. You good. I mean,
I was just very confused about the Yuji situation. And I'm very like, what the fuck about what's gonna happen?
No, now I pretty much gotta look that up because like I honestly, I never heard of that. Like that was a completely new concept that just got introduced. Because like to me, that's like, it's a weird power up, sure, but as far as big spectrum goes, that's OP in a sense too. So like, granted, it was used on a character that's like decent. Okay. But using that logic, that pretty much says that if Ghetto or whoever was taking control of him actually bodied him, or if what's his face actually bodied him, it wouldn't even really be a body. It would just be like, oh, Shonen switch, you on my side now kind of thing. So it's like, wait, what? Are you telling me that Hiyomi could actually use that as a weapon if he really does figure that out? And then plus the logic behind it still doesn't make sense too. Like we're talking about the strongest demon ever existed, literally Gojo and Sukuna, and you could even argue that's a tie. So you're telling me Gojo level strength has an ability that's actually contingency for death? It's like just the logic there. It's like what? It's like why even do that in the first place?
It should be impossible to kill you anyways.
Right? Yeah. Are you telling me that like in that one miracle when someone is able to body you, it's just not really?
Yeah.
Just like, whoa, what?
The writers just had fun at that point because that was him just basically being like, yeah, fuck it. let's make an unkillable person have a secret power that activates when he gets killed. Like,
just like I'm trying to
Jujutsu Kaisen though, but this is literally Jujutsu Kaisen. Like when Gojo explained his power, it was literally like, what? Like that exact same reaction of like, yeah, exactly. So this you can't touch me. You can get really close, like really close. You can't touch me though,
bro. I'm telling you, that's a quote. Ever since I saw it, I was like, "This is the infinite space between me and you." I was like, "Bro, what?
Like, what are you talking about?" And then he was like, and then after that, he just went to go and just be like, "All right, this guy really thought he wanted to run up on me today. This is a perfect opportunity to train this unit. Hold on 1 second." Let me go get him from like halfway across the city real quick so he can witness me whooping your ass. 1 second. Boom, he's back.
1 second.
Yeah, like, what? And then he's like, hey, you sit right there. Don't worry. He's going to do some dumb shit, but I'm Gojo. Like, nothing's going to happen. And I'm going to body this nigga in front of you. And Jogo's ass had the audacity to get dropped by him and then say, Sukuna, hey, I want to see how strong you are. He tried the Sukuna like as if it was a smart thing to. I'm like, bro, this nigga never learns. The other motherfucking demons, they know exactly who to fuck with. They fuck with niggas in their range. Jogo is a guy who thinks that he's in a certain tier that he never was in and never will be. He's Endeavor. Jogo's literally he's looking at All Might. He's looking at Gojo All Might, Sukuna All Might, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna close that gap. No, you will never close that gap. It's never getting close. Like that infinite space, that was a metaphor for how Jogo will never reach these niggas' level. That infinite space is how much space he has between him and Sukuna. Him and Gold, you're never gonna cross that infinite gap, bro. They will forever be stronger than you.
It was perfect. That's why it's just so good. So many levels.
I can't wait till he dies for real. I don't think he's not there yet, is he? They didn't kill him, did he? Did they?
I don't know. I think he low-key got away, so I think he's still alive. Him and what's his face? I think like the last two of the main ones, minus Ghetto, still alive. Human Buddy.
Will homie's dead though, right? Cthulhu.
Who?
Cthulhu.
Oh yeah, I think Cthulhu got bodied. Yeah.
Oh okay.
Which one called? Oh wait, did he die? I was trying to remember. Wait, Silent Blaze is saying. Oh wait, real quick, Silent Blaze. I think he low-key feeding him all them fingers right there and then was the best idea. I still think that's a little debatable, but I'll leave that out for now. But anyway. But no, is Human Buddy still alive? I thought he was. Damn.
I don't know. I really don't know. I'd be happy if he was dead though, because I think we're over him.
Damn, I'm trying to look this up real quick.
Yeah. I think you said it was Ghetto's plan. I guess I'm responding to what you said earlier.
Well, I mean, if he did die, then I think Ghetto would be the one who actually did it. I just can't. I mean, did they like take him out right before he really started going up against everybody? Maybe he did, and I just forgot. And maybe that's on me. My bad. The
Oh,
Navy,
he
the
said he
AM.
is dead, so I guess he looked it up. Well,
Oh
thank
yeah.
God.
Okay.
That man never stood
Well,
a chance.
never mind. I guess they all got body minus ghetto.
R.I.P. Goofies. All right. Anyway, so before we jump into great moments of anime history, we'll make it light and quick. In honor of Black History Month, I wanted to, talk about the good and bad of some black. I guess it's anime focused, but it could be general. Characters in anime, manga, comics, whatever. But yeah, I mean, just some good examples of black characters and some bad examples. So I guess I could start off with a mixed example and a good example of Killer Bee and Raikage. I thought Raikage Killer Bee in the Cloud Village itself was dope. I liked that there was a village of black motherfuckers out there, and I liked that their powers was lightning because I felt like that was putting respect on their name. In terms of like, because lightning, at least from what I understand in Japanese culture, is considered pretty like top tier, and I think the word lightning and God are like interchangeable in some ways, in some like dialects or whatever. Because I remember that trope being used with NL, yeah, in One Piece. So
Yeah.
I thought that was some respect on his name. I think my issue with Killer Bee, or the issue some people might have, is just that rapping thing with him, which it was a little goofy. It was hit or miss. Like, luckily he played it off because it was just kind of like funny. And it wasn't like everybody. Like, if everybody in the Cloud Village was some rapping ass niggas, I would be like, all right, you fucking up Kishimoto. But I actually liked Raikage as like a decent leader. I thought he was good, level-headed, and Killer Bee was just like an interesting character. So I would say that, like I said, mixed bag, but Raikage was good in my mind.
Yep. I mean, I was looking at most, at least the black anime characters that I was checking out is like decent to me. Right. My top would probably, one, Afro Samurai, because homie was just, I mean, he was just dope on just about every level, to be honest. I mean, right. he was just a good character, and it's like what's the best way to put this? It's like him being black was good for the audience to simply see that he was black, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like his blackness was used to make him a good character. It was that his blackness helped him become a great character, kind of thing. So it's like, it was more just like, just exemplifies the, black excellence, just like black strength, just like black ability to be a normal, good, great anime character. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and plus, like, just the show in general was like mad decent, and then you throw in like Sam Jackson's voice, that just helps out completely too. But like the series itself, like Afro Samurai was just like legit to me. And then my next one, which I'm sure everyone talks about, but Yoruichi, because like she's like one of the OG baddies, at least for me, from the anime perspective. So always got to put cloud on her name. As far as a bad one. You got homie's picture right up there, so I mean we got to touch on it. Yep. Mr. Popo.
I'm trying to go with. Boy. I to this day I still don't understand, because like even with Yoruichi too, there's like these ambiguously brown characters in anime, and I think Yoruichi kind of fits that box, but I just claim her as black because it is what it is. But Mr. Popo is one of those, because it's like technically based off his attire, he could be a Middle Eastern or like I guess an Indian type of person, but the way he's drawn definitely looks like blackface. So it's really hard.
I mean, it's literally like the midnight, like. I mean that's not. I don't even know if we can, like, his skin color is not just really black, like it's like literally, as you said, like blackface. It's the effing like shoe shine black, big lips, like literally not even like shaped as like regular lips, right. Just like stereotype. I don't even
and I
know.
hope Jigglypuff ain't, or not Jigglypuff. What's that girl?
Jinx.
Yeah, Jinx. I hope that's not another
Yep.
fucking caricature either. Because we'll
Oh
put that up there
god.
too. I don't know if Pokemons have a race, so I'll leave her out of it. But but that is
I
another one that
mean,
definitely looked like some blackface. That I was a little bit like.
100%.
I
I mean,
always
that's
felt
like,
uncomfortable playing Jinx in the games.
yeah, it's crazy. Oh fuck! But it was just sad. Like the biggest reason why it was sad to me is that the character as a whole, I liked Mr. Popo. Like minus like how he looked, like the actual character, like who Mr. Popo was and like what he does. I was kind of about, like when they first introduced him in Dragon Ball. They introduced him as like really dope, a teacher, and like I don't know if pacifist is the right word, but it's like his strength wasn't built upon, like being a fighter. You know what I mean? He was just naturally strong because of how he like looked and like just experienced life and nature as such. And I was like, that's a really dope way for a power up. I just always like that just in general, in the sense of like just being more like the kind of like key sensing kind of thing, in the sense of like, hey, as long as you're just more aware of who you are and the world is, you'll get stronger. Like that kind of concept I was always about. So it's just like, oh, that's really dope. But again, you make this character with blackface, so it's kind of like hard to enjoy everything he's saying, because in a sense it's like, are you making fun of something too, or I don't know what's happening here. So
Right. So Black Rain from YouTube, I'm just gonna have to call you out to explain that piece. He said Mr. Popo is the best interpretation of a black guy. I don't know if he's trolling or if he's serious, but I'll give you a chance if you're serious to explain yourself. If you're trolling, then I'm guessing you won't respond. But anyways, other part.
Oh, and like real quick. Oh yeah, the Silent Blaze mentioning Tozen. I like Tozen from the jump. I just don't like what happened with him. So it was more just like Tozen was great, and then he became like a villain, and I was like a little, that sucks, but they can still make him decent. But how he ended, I despise that in a sense. Like he just became so stupid and weak to me that I just can't give him the clout from what he really was built on before. So just like it was more like just like a sad face, I guess.
The bug thing was dumb at the end to me. Also, like,
exactly.
I mean, the disrespect that they showed him in Konomura, but Konomura was at least able to redeem himself at the very end. But like Kenpachi basically just destroying them. Like he was like, I don't give a fuck if I can't see or hear. I can just, when you stab me, I'll just stab you back. So that was unfortunate. But no, I totally agree with both of you. Like initially when Tosin first entered the scene, it was like, oh yeah, this dude is fire. Like the power was interesting. He was a black guy. He was blind. I like that he had that disability, which they never really explained how that even works in the Soul Society. But nigga was blind for some reason. He was still up there in the captain stuff. But then it was like right after that happened, he got hoed by Kenpachi. And then you were like, okay, well, he turned out to be evil, so maybe it's going to be good in this redemption arc. But when he finally got his fight, it wasn't even with strong niggas. It was like Komura and Hisagi.
Exactly, yeah. What's his face? Abarai, yeah.
Yeah, he was basically just used to show Hisagi's new ability, or like Shikai, which we never seen before. And then he was like, yeah, I'm just going to turn into a fly so I can see. And we were like, so you did all of this so that you can see? And I'm like, maybe I don't understand. Like, as a blind, I've never been blind before, so, I guess I can sympathize now as an older person, like, with that urge maybe to want to see having never seen before. But it just seemed like it wasn't worth everything he fucking did to do that, to, like, get to see. Like, it just seemed unnecessary and a waste. And then apparently, like, because I remember King of Lightning would say this a lot, too, that Kubo had this thing with making a lot of the black characters into, like, these buggy or weird creatures. Like, because we saw, there's a few other black characters seasoned through, like, in Hueco Mundo, there was, like, the guy that Byakuya fought, and his ability was, like, witchcraft.
Right. One of the Espada.
Like,
yeah, I remember.
Witchcraft. Like, that was his transformation sound, and he looked kind of dumb and weird. There was another bug guy that came out at the very end, I think, on the like Quincy side of things. Yeah, just not that great. He definitely put some respect on Hispanic motherfuckers though, because Masty Masculine was a real one, and Chad was a real one too. But black characters, I don't know. He started going somewhere with it, and then kind of like flopped them.
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, and then if we're talking about shows in general, I mean, even with like Dragon Ball, Mr. Popo wasn't like the only one they used. I mean, like I'm trying to think if they really went like 100% blackface with them too. But if you go back in time to Dragon Ball and Buddy, the second in command of the Red Ribbon Army, I think what was his name? Like Blue? I think his name was like Mr. Blue or something. But homies, I mean, I know at a bare minimum, homies' lips look like exactly like Mr. Popo's crack.
Oh my god!
And it was just like, really, my guy? I mean, everyone else's lips are just like, existent to a point where you can tell their lips. And now you got like a literal like candy lips on like a character. It's just like, bro. What?
I'm like, you could have just put a black face. Like niggas been drawing Goku and Dragon Ball Z characters black for years. Like you could have just motherfucking dyed the color black, and niggas would have been fine with it. I mean, halfway like, and this the other thing, but it's hard because of what he did to Mr. Popo, but as a like black adjacent kind of storyline or storyline I can empathize with, like the Saiyans and even the Namekians, both of those storylines definitely had some strong black history undertones. The Saiyans with the whole monkeys thing, like Frieza's racism, all that shit. Like it definitely struck a chord there, but then it's hard to believe he did that on purpose because of what you're bringing up, like with the Mr. Popo and all that stuff. Like sometimes you just gotta go in your head and be like, maybe I'm just making this up because Mr. Popo still exists. It's like you go fucking, do all these monkey undertone stuff and make me think it's about, but then you draw Mr. Popo and I just gotta take a step back and go, no, I think maybe I'm just making this up in my head, and maybe you didn't mean it this way. You probably didn't even know about what happened to black people back in the day. So, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I have Canary's picture up here. I have Canary's picture here for Hunter x Hunter. She's also another mixed bag for me. I liked her character and backstory, but I did feel a type of way with the butlery thingy. Like, to me, I hope that if we ever see the end of Hunter x Hunter, Killua ends up with her. I think that'll make me feel more comfortable with it. But if he doesn't, it will strike me as this, like, slave-master relationship. Because that's kind of what it struck me as already. It was like, oh, I'm a butler, but I'm in love with Killua. And I feel like if, like, Killua was like, oh, yeah, I'll be with Canary, and any member of the family has an issue with it, I will immediately go to, like, these motherfuckers are racist in my head. Because I'll be like, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's going to be in my mind. It's just like, what's the problem? Oh, because she's in your servant class? Like, that's my thing. That's where I get iffy with Canary. I liked her as a character. I really liked her backstory. Like, and I like that she likes Killua. And I think Killua may reciprocate those feelings at some point. My issue is that they just set it up as this like lower class, upper class kind of relationship. And I always get concerned with that because it's like, I mean, the undertones are there, right? Like the help undertones are there. So.
I got you. I'm trying to, like, just because you said that, since we're talking about like series as a whole, I was trying to look for other black colored or at least dark tone buddies. Oh, actually forgot. That's round. Well, you remember Buddy from the Hunter exam who had the what's that called? Blow dart gun. Who after we're going for a hot second?
I don't remember.
Like low key. Oh, you don't remember? Oh fuck. He had like two twin puffs, blow dart gun, and like Gon was training to steal Hisoka's piece.
That sounds.
And like while doing so, he ended up getting not bodied, but dropped by this buddy.
Yeah.
So I mean, looking at his design, it's I mean, like it's actually not bad. I mean, like, the whole blow dart gun concept is a little debatable, but
Yes.
his hunter mentality, I'm actually like kind of about that. And then there was also the buddy from the whatchamacallit, the video game, um who had the
Oh
curse, who
yeah,
had the ability
he's
to remove
actually
curses.
OP. He's actually OP. So I do give him
So
that.
like they elite, like my point is like for Hunter x Hunter, it looks like they're still dropping respect here and
Exactly.
there
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
touching on them. So
Yeah,
at a
I know.
bare minimum, it's like okay.
Right, and I think that's why I have more mixed feelings about it than just outright hate. Because, like you said, there are other black characters, like that guy that you mentioned just now. He is like, I mean, they fucking used him to remove the curse from Lucifer. Like
Right.
he's considered up there at least with his Nen stuff. So, he definitely does put respect on other people's names. I don't think there was any black characters I can think of in Yu Yu Hakusho actually. I'm just thinking about another Togashi work, but yeah, I don't see it there. Another person obviously is the person who did Soul Leader and Fire Force, um, which will lead me into the next segment in a little bit. But um, clearly has a love for black characters like Sid. I believe his
Oh
last
yeah.
name's Barnett in Soul Leader. I actually thought he was going to be a little like caricature, but I mean he ends up dying in the first episode and being a zombie. But he's
Ooh.
a great character for the cast, and also at the end of the day, like what I've read in the manga, he continues to be that like in the manga as well. Because I know Soul Eater
Oh, that's
didn't
what's up.
really end where the manga
Okay.
did. Then also there's Killick Lunge in there, even though we
Oh
didn't
yeah,
get a
I
lot of
like you.
spotlight from him in the anime. He does get some scenes in the manga, and he's also considered up there. Him and Pod and Thunder, all black characters that I thought were dope. Obviously,
Hmm.
Ogun in Fire Force, respect on his name, puts in that work. So there's definitely some good ones out there. We need more, but I think hopefully over these next few years we'll get that with
Hmm.
where anime is going and how it's expanding. Any other
True.
ones you want to put respect on before we move on to great
I
moments?
was just checking out the list and trying to see here. Um,
I know people also put respect on like I think it's called Michiko and Hachin. I never actually
oh
watched
yeah,
it.
yeah. I never checked out the show. I take that back. I think it was on Toonami for a hot second,
Yeah, it
and I checked
was.
out maybe like an episode or two. But
Right.
it looks real. In the sense that I think it touches on some interesting topics from what I can recall.
Yep.
Almost like I want to see Nor. I won't say Nor, but like a kind of Black Lagoon. That's what I
Exactly.
wanted
That's
to.
what I'm saying. It's like a Black Lagoon kind of vibe.
I knew this was a show on the top of my
Yep.
tongue that I couldn't get out. But whatchamacallit, Buddy with the shades, like the actual the group. I remember him being like mad decent. I haven't checked out the show in like a minute.
Right.
I just remember him like he was mad decent just as a character.
Yep.
Just like putting in work. So no, big ups to him. Trying to think. Oh, gotta put respect on my man Aokiji. Let's
Yeah. How did I
go.
forget about him?
Oh snap! Almost forgot about Buddy.
One of
Mad. Yeah,
like
that's not. I'm not even trying to use that like as
no,
an
he's
effing pun there. Like homie's just a literal cool mother effer,
for
bro.
real.
And just everything he does.
No, for
He's
real.
just a mad, decent, just smooth, cool, boss, low key OP character introduced. I mean,
Right.
like fuck.
No, he
Like
does
if you
it.
talk about ice powers, I mean, he's gotta come up. Like they made like him just like a OP in just the anime verse to a respect. So definitely put a highlight on.
Yep. No, for sure. Just to add to that, like I mean, he was just good. Like in terms of how he behaves and moves, like especially in a world full of pirates, like they didn't make him. They definitely could have gone a Blackbeard route with him and made him like
True.
a fool, but he's a stand-up guy, and even within his own ranks, he's a stand-up guy. My hope is
True.
that he's low-key a part of Sword too, and just doing his own thing if they haven't already stated that, so that it doesn't like fully look like he just betrayed the Marines. He's just like, yeah, I'm just doing my own thing.
I mean, but that's just it. I mean, it depends on, I guess, how you look at it, which is like a cool fact. But like that whole betrayal of the Marines, I
Yeah.
personally don't even see it like that. I
I know,
mean, it
but
was more like like, bro, like you're like, if you are the leader of this group and I know you and how you're going to be representing things, I just can't stand by that. So I'm not going to, just immediately go against you. I'm just not with you no more. Right. Which was like, that was just respectable, It was more just like, I quit kind of thing. Like, I'm just like currently quitting my job because my thoughts and feelings no longer align. These are my employers. Like, that's pretty much how I looked at it. And I was like, all right.
No, I see you, but I feel like you're seeing that through a regular human lens. In the Hotep world, or I guess if it was on some racist bullshit, like the way the world would see that, if it was on some racist bullshit, would be that Aokiji left on some petty shit. You know what I'm saying? That would be how it was framed to the world. If it was on that tip. I don't know if that's how it was presented to the world or not. From the way we heard it, it was very clear that they fought, somebody lost, and basically whoever was going to lose that battle was just no longer going to be a part of the Marines. And that happened to be Aokiji. So from that perspective, I totally get what you're saying. I'm just saying from the Hotep / if they was really on there with Aokiji, they definitely would have framed it to make it look like he was a bad guy or doing something wrong or some bullshit. But it is what it is. Anybody else? Or should we move on to great and wrap this thing up?
No, I think I'm good.
All right.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone. Yeah, I'm good.
On to the last segment, great moments of anime history. Obviously, Black History Month. This is our last stream, I guess, during Black History Month. True. So we decided to highlight a dope black fight. It's from the newer side. It's Ogun versus the Forest Demon. But I think it's great because it showcases kind of how far we've come, at least as far as black characters being put in the spotlight in anime. Yeah. I think Ogun last year had definitely really got the black anime community really hyped with his appearance in Fire Force. Even for me, who hasn't even completed the season, I had to go back and look at some of his fights or what he did in the series. It even made me start the next season because I was like, oh, there's a black character here? I definitely want to see what this motherfucker can do. So I think just in honor of Black History Month, in honor of how far I guess we've come in terms of black characters in anime, and hopefully how far we can keep going in terms of seeing more black faces or black anime or black characters out there. I think we just wanted to show this fight. So without further ado, let's get it cracking. On mute as usual because niggas be on that with the copyright strikes. And this bro got that ogre back muscles from Baki. Oh boy got that ogre face.
Just ready.
I wasn't too much of a fan of the actual. I don't know if it sounded better in Japanese dub, but the name of it, Flamey Ink, just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't. It doesn't all the way hit.
That's fair. No, I mean I don't know. I think I was just too hyped to see it to really think about it. But looking at it again, it's like they could have given it a more dope name in that respect.
What's the actual core concept of it? Because I didn't actually finish the season yet. So
I'm trying to. If I could recall, a power
amplifier? Because I saw at the end of this.
Wait, is it what?
Throws a fireball. Is it just?
Oh no! As far as the fiery ink concept in general, I think it's more kind of like a what's the best?
Oh, it's body.
Yeah, like body. Okay. Kind of like a whatchamacallit. It's kind of like a gear second. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
It just makes you just physically stronger in a sense. So I mean, but
a grace then.
Right. And it's like the reason why it's so dope, at least to me, is that it did one of two things. One, it kept it so he's still just I think you're explaining.
Yep.
He's still just all about hands because I'm always about hands. Right. And then two, the fact that they use this comparison to the strong. Well, I don't think that he got strongest captain because that's technically squad 7. But the second strongest captain, which is old buddy, and it's just bro, you just compared a fresh, at least character to us, fresh character who's black that's low key close to being as strong as to like arguably the second strongest character in the series.
Right.
And it's just like, bro, the amount of respect. Thank you. Just thank you. And then the amount of actual screen time of like this fight in general is just like mad decent.
And he was just buying time.
And just like him straight. Right. And it's not like, oh yeah, let me buy time by being a shield. It's like, no, I'm actually going to be dropping this kid, whatever. But doing so for like minutes. And it's just like, that's what's up. It's like, that's so what's up for so many reasons. Oh, man.
Hogan wasn't playing around. What was I about to say? When you said strongest captain in Squad 7, is that Benny Martin's Squad 7?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think he got the title for actual like strongest captain.
I mean, but they got two different generations of firepower. Even though I hate the way he uses it, but those fan things I think are dumb. The things you like throw in the air or whatever that they spin around, I'm like, yo, that's kind of dumb. But no.
Burns. That was his name.
He was going in. Did Ogun get any other major fights post this in that season? Like versus like.
I mean, not like this. I mean, this was like his biggest highlight.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I'm playing those mops. I can't fuck with the mops, bro. Yeah, I think we need at least one series. I mean, it would be nice today if the author is gonna put him on the what did he call that? The grace or whatever, like the tier that what's his face is on, where they get this like second level to their power. I forget what the concept's called.
No, I mean those are only kids with a Dola burst though.
There you go. That thing. It'd been nice if we got that on the back end, but I guess not.
No, I don't think. At least based on how they set it up, I don't think it works like that unless they introduce a new system to get it. But I don't think at least it's that easy. It's. I mean, to be honest, I'm still a little. I am not 100% on it, but like how like true Adola burst mother effers to be able to get that boost, I feel like it's almost. I think you have to be like born with that, based on how they're explaining it. So,
okay.
I don't think it's really something you can obtain. I think you can obtain Adola links, but I don't think those links really actually equate to power-ups, if that makes sense.
Got it.
Right.
Benny Murray does have a better fight where he bodies a bunch of assassins. Oh, was this in the next season? I ain't seen it. I just saw his, like, the first season fight. Which, I mean, like I said, he's still dope and shit. It's just... the mops are boring. I just felt like there's, a more interesting way to use that ability besides having niggas throw mops at him and then he throw those mops on fire at enemies.
No, but I mean, homie, Benny Barber has hands though. I mean, you see that like with like the little flares here and there.
Yeah, I'm never arguing that. That nigga definitely has hands. I would never argue that. I definitely agree with him being up there as the strongest. I just think he can not use mops. That's all I'm saying. So we ran a little hot today, so I'll keep the fan questions short. I'll just open it up for like a minute if anybody has any last questions. If not, we will close out with our closing statements and catch y'all in the next live stream. Hopefully we'll be on Facebook. If not, look out. But I do predict that we will have a big announcement in the next live stream. So for those of you that are on it, tune in.
Masterly bro,
hey,
Silent Blaze,
welcome to the
that's what's up. You finally, I'm glad you joining us, bro. Woo! We got another one.
And them niggas got hands. I'm telling you, when that gets animated, I hope it gets done by like a good studio because
I'm saying
with the right, layers, like maybe not. It don't have to be Demon Slayer level, but shit, if Mappa picks it up or some of these other good animation studios, I'm telling you, it's gonna be crazy.
Like we're talking about close to like top 5 comedy anime, like there. Period. I mean the studio, like low key, it should be the same studio who made FM season 1 One Punch Man.
Exactly.
Like I can't remember what studio it was, but that'd be like perfect. like the same concept practically applies.
Big fact.
But my God, that manga, like the last couple of chapters, some of that was just hilarious. Like, I just can't, bro. Like the homie's too funny sometimes. Like he really just like homie just don't have strong emotions most of the time. He's just rolling through life. Like that's it. He's just chilling through life.
That's it, man.
Being a boss.
I'm telling you, I can't wait. I think I'm gonna go die laughing again. If that thing gets animated with the damn broom, where he threw that broom and hopped up his bitch. I think I'm gonna watch that clip multiple times. Right, that shit was absolutely hilarious. I think I laughed out loud at that for real, bro. This nigga was like, boom, threw that shit. The guy was like, wait a minute.
Did everybody see this stuff?
It looked like he was flying.
God! And what's great, and what I was hoping didn't happen, and it didn't. So I'm really glad. But like, spoiler sign, but you're not caught. I'm not gonna like try. The biggest point is that at some point they do figure it out. If you're not caught up, they do figure out as far as him not being able to use magic. But the thing is, that doesn't matter to the core of the series in the sense of the comedy is still there. Right. So it's like I was scared of that for a second. I was scared that like once they found out, it was gonna just like that comedic aspect of him not being able to use magic would somehow disappear, but it didn't. No. And I was really glad that was the case.
And that's what would be funny about it though. Just like Misfit of the Demon King, it just be like y'all. They don't ever learn. There's always a new nigga that want to try MASH, and MASH just be pulling up with a cream puff like, all right.
Bet, bro.
I'm gonna ask to your ass.
Like big facts.
And then they just introduced that concept of the triple liners. I was like, yo, all right, you guys are trying to catch a low key story out here, bro. It's gonna be interesting to see how that developed, but that was MASH is good for sure.
100%.
But yeah, I guess we'll end it here. Any closing statements, or what is your closing statement? I should say.
Fuck. I mean, I guess like learning from just like researching Black characters today in general is that, well, I guess one kind of like a big ups to the anime community, you know, really kind of integrating Black characters to such a degree, and like just hopeful for the increase in future anime to date. But I mean, we're on our way, y'all. Like this is what's up. Like we're getting there. We're not quite there yet, but I mean we're getting there. So that's what's up. This is just to me being hopeful, I guess I'll say. That'll be my statement.
All right. My statement that actually turned into a potential question for the podcast in the future is, can Endeavor, or how can Endeavor survive in the Fire Force world? Like, where would he actually end up being placed with his abilities and powers and the fact that he overheats? I wonder where he would lie. I'm going to let people think on that. I'm going to think on that. And we'll discuss it in either a future live stream or another podcast. But
no, that's an interesting thought. I like that.
Yeah, well, my original close statement was Endeavor's a bad father. But then
I was about to say, like, I was really like, whoop. But no, that's a decent question, though. Where would Endeavor fall in the Fire Force world? Okay. That's another thing, Cole.
But yeah, I will catch y'all later in the next live stream. Thanks, everyone, for joining Silent Blaze. Shout out to you for always joining the live streams, commenting.
100%.
Thanks to everyone else who joined. Hope to see y'all on the next live stream on Thursday. Like I said, there may or may not be a big announcement that next Thursday, but y'all have to tune in to find out. See y'all next Thursday.
All right. Until next.